Hey there, welcome to the second episode of the 20-Minute Wellbeing Check. I'm your host, Stephanie Cunningham. This is where all of us mind, body, spirit junkies come to check in and get a little growth-centered snack. Each time we will touch on a different topic designed to support you on your unique development path, whether personal, professional, or spiritual. So be sure to comment. Wherever you're seeing this, drop some comments so we know this is helpful. Also, if you have a topic you want to see covered, drop that in the comments as well. As a reminder, this check-in is intended to be a little bit educational and a little thought-provoking. So let's see where it takes us. If we haven't met yet, I'm Stephanie Cunningham, certified professional coach, Reiki master teacher, speaker, and trainer. My mission is to help people better understand themselves and the world around them so they can create a life that feels really good. I'm talking incredibly, deeply satisfying. I was in the corporate world for nearly 20 years in marketing and training, and I consider myself a recovering type A. I'm founder of RevelationU, a firm focused on self-awareness and personal growth that offers Reiki, spiritual life coaching, in-person and online courses. And like many of you, I too am a highly sensitive person and an empath. So let's get to it. Today's topic is managing personal energy. Today, we're going to check in on how you've been feeling, your energy level. Are you feeling fueled up or totally depleted? We'll check in to see what, if anything, is sucking your energy without you even knowing. And we'll touch on a few energy hacks that will ensure that you get everything done on that to-do list and still feel amazing. First, let's get on the same page about energy. I'm talking personal energy. The definition I use is the strength and vitality required for sustained physical or mental activity. How does that sound to you? Would you define personal energy another way? Some responses I've had from previous workshop participants include motivation to get things done, inspiration, feeling excited and creative. I love all of those descriptions. Which one resonates with you? I'd love for you to share in the comments and be sure to write it in your journal. Thinking of these descriptions of personal energy, I'd like to invite you to explore your experience with being aware of your personal energy. Is it something you've thought of, are very much aware of, or somewhere in between? Take a pause here and jot down a few sentences in your journal. You're welcome to share in the comments as well. Let's look at personal energy another way. If you look at your cells under a microscope, you'll notice that they're kind of dancing around, shaking, twitching. That shaking and dancing, that is the vibration of your cells, their energy. And you're made up of roughly 15 trillion of them. That's right. 15 trillion cells in your body that react to your thoughts, your actions, and your intentions. They follow your lead like little energy soldiers, lined up, ready to move forward in the same direction, whatever direction you tell them to go in. So, how have you and your little energy soldiers been feeling lately? Let's check in. If you're feeling fueled up, you might be feeling creative, compassionate, thoughtful, collaborative, authentic, and able to manage stress. On the flip side, totally depleted feels like distracted, exhausted, anxious, over or under emotional, getting nothing done, and feelings of restlessness. So are you vibing high, ready to take on whatever the day brings? Or do you feel like the energy is being sucked out of you and you just want to crawl in bed and binge watch all the shows for like the rest of your life? So what feelings have you been aligned with recently? Say, over the last 3 months. What has been most present for you? I'd like for you to jot down in your journal what's been going on and what feelings have been popping up, and also share in the comments if you feel comfortable. Personally, I've been aligned with all the feelings lately. I've been working on some cool projects and have been having a great time with my partner and my son, but also a few things have popped up that have me feeling emotionally exhausted. A business move, worry about family members, sleep disruptions, and honestly, it's starting to feel a little heavy. It's interesting that we can go from feeling good and strong and capable to fearful, anxious, and exhausted, and then back again. Likely you've experienced this as well. This up and down is totally normal in the flow of humanness. That said, we can make sure that the highs and lows are little ripples rather than high highs and deep lows. One way we can do that is be more aware of the sneaky little energy suckers that slowly drain us. Most of us know the big things that fuel us up or drain us. Being in love, feeling useful, being of service, or having too many to-dos on our to-do list, working a job we don't like, and of course, having an illness or chronic pain. Some energy drains we are aware of but can't control. We navigate them as best we can and strengthen our resilience. But there are others we have lots of control over. We just aren't aware of them. These energy suckers can be hard to recognize but are drastically affecting your energy supply. Our world of energy overload causes our bodies to tense up physically, our head to hurt, and emotions to heighten several times a day. Quietly running in the background like malware, using up all of your precious processing power on things that aren't valuable to you. There might be days when you want to lash out in defense or cry in the corner and not even know why. While there are many more, here are a few of the big ones that get most of us. People. You might be thinking about those people that need a lot of care and attention. Complainers, unsupportive people, takers, and yes, they are definitely a drain on your energy. Definitely. However, for some, just being around people is an energy drain. If you are someone who is introverted or highly sensitive, just being around people can be exhausting. Pleasant people, fun people, negative people, it really doesn't matter. For some, just sharing space with others is energy draining. Do you see yourself here? Extroverts can feel this way too. I'm one of them. Raise your hand, give me a little feedback, those extroverts. For some, you might need to think about this a little bit more offline, maybe do some journaling, and get a better idea if you're someone who just being around people can be exhausting. Next up, relationships. This one is big. It's big because connection is so important to us. It is so important that you probably have a hard time recognizing when a relationship is harder than it should be. You just take things day by day, not realizing the overarching drain the relationship is having on your mind, your body, and your spirit. A bad relationship doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic relationship. It could be with a family member, a friend, or a coworker. In fact, it doesn't even have to be with a person. You also have relationships with your things, your pets, your beliefs. And because of that, it's common for you to have multiple relationships or attachments that are draining you at any given time, quietly running in the background. Thinking about this, what relationships might be draining you? The faucet that it's needed to be fixed for 3 months, your kid's toy room that needs to be cleaned out and organized, your side hustle that you haven't paid as much attention to lately. What relationships are holding you hostage without your knowledge? Demands on your time. How much time do you spend doing what you want versus doing what you feel you have to do or should do? This includes work, parenting, travel, sports, running kids around, Marriage, seeing friends, seeing family, volunteering, working out, grocery shopping, paying bills, household chores. The list goes on. All the things you feel like you have to do or address. You may be painfully aware that feeling like a slave to your to-do list is a huge drain on your physical and emotional energy. However, you may not. You may just assume that these are things you must do as a part of everyday life, being a parent, person, or leader. Constant noise. This is a big one for me personally. Have you seen that meme that says, "I heard too many noises at once and now I'm a bitch"? I can totally relate to that. Oh man, noise can be anything that's audible, noticeably or not. For example, music playing, people talking, sometimes appliances running in the background or electronics buzzing, and of course, the ever-present uninvited thoughts. All of these things can be very draining on your nervous system. You might even find yourself tensing up and not really understanding why. And it could be that the radio playing a few cubes down might be the thing making you feel irritable. Can you relate to this? Are you sensitive to constant noise? If so, how do you handle it? Share your experience in the comments and also write them down in the journal that you're using for this episode. That way you can look back and see all those things that you're doing well that are really supporting you. Up next is marketing. Talk about a full-on assault. We are constantly being talked at. As you are now aware, marketers use every trick in the book to get you to connect with their product. This constant pull on your attention and emotions, consciously or subconsciously, has a negative effect on you. Good or bad, these ads trigger unnecessary emotional responses. These feelings can cause you to make decisions you may later regret, bring up feelings of inadequacy, or make you feel like you have to put one more thing on your to-do list. Not cool. Speaking of decisions, have you ever heard of decision fatigue? Yes, decision fatigue is a real thing. It's when the quality of your decision-making is decreased, when the number of decisions you have to make increases. Let that sink in. The quality of your decision-making is decreased when the number of decisions you have to make increases. Author James Clear describes decision fatigue like this. As it turns out, your willpower is like a muscle, and similar to the muscles in your body, willpower can get fatigued when you use it over and over again. Every time you make a decision, it's like doing another rep in the gym. And similar to how your muscles get tired at the end of a workout, the strength of your willpower fades as you make more decisions. Makes sense, right? Every parent is familiar with decision fatigue. Constant questions, constant requests, constant negotiation. Of course, this happens at work as well. Would you want to be the last person on a judge's docket for the day? Probably not. The last one we'll talk about, because there are thousands of energy drains, is repression. Repression of your dreams, desires, your personality in general can leave you feeling exhausted and depressed. This energy drain is caused by a disconnection from self. Your soul is depleted from pushing down its desires and rejecting your very being. That's a big one, and it's a big one that a lot of us struggle with and don't even recognize. So looking at all of these energy drains, these sneaky little suckers, there are a lot here. And we didn't even get into how your energy is affected by the food you eat and the environment in which you live and work. As you can see, energy suckers can be things you are responsible for and things you are not responsible for. Which of these sneaky little energy suckers bug you the most? Which ones are bothering you now? Jot them down in your journal and, of course, share them in the comments. For me, it's definitely constant noise and demands on my time, those that are perceived and actual. All right, let's get to the point. How do we kick those drains to the curb? With some hacks, of course. In today's world, everything has a hack, right? First up is to incorporate energy management along with time management. Time management relates to organization and planning to accomplish tasks within a certain amount of time. Frequently used tools here include calendars, to-do lists, journals. Very important. Time management is very important. I agree. But if you're too exhausted to actually complete some of these tasks, it really doesn't matter. What matters is your energy, your emotional, physical, and mental capacity. Energy management relates to the intangible, managing emotions and things like getting enough sleep in order for you to be productive. They're both important, and while some energy management tactics may take time out of your day, managing your energy will allow you to effectively and sustainably execute what you need to accomplish, to be more productive, sometimes even in less time. How are you managing your energy these days? Are you more likely to focus on time management or energy management? Jot that down in your journal. Next hack is to reduce distractions. For example, turn off the notifications on your phone. They're just distractions, pulling your attention away from what you're doing and draining your energy. Don't stop there. Turn off anything that is not supportive of your energetic state. Lessen the noise and the demands on your time. Did you know that you have a natural rhythm to your energy and focus? That there are certain times of day where you're naturally more energetic or contemplative? Cool, right? It's a built-in energy management system, actually. Aligning your tasks and activities as much as you can to how you naturally work throughout the day will make things go more smoothly. So, if you feel more energetic in the morning, maybe that's your time to work out and not your time to meditate, as meditation doesn't go too well when you're in a high energetic state. Meditate during your contemplative time of day. Create during your creative time of day, and so on. Are you already doing this? If so, jot it down and make sure that you can go back and look at those things that you're currently doing that are working well for you. Be realistic. How realistic are you about the things you can and can't accomplish? This one's hard for many of us because we think we can do 12 things at once really, really well. Just because you can do a lot doesn't mean you have to. What can you realistically accomplish without draining your energy? And remember, we teach people how to treat us. So many times we feel like a lot is expected of us, when in fact, we've actually trained people to expect a lot from us. We do have a role in this experience. You have permission to say no. Also, be realistic about what you want and don't want to do. What do you want to do versus what you feel like you should be doing? Here's an example from my personal life. I don't like making goodie bags for birthday parties. It's not something I enjoy, but I always felt like I had to do it. I realized this expectation was causing me stress and anxiety, so I stopped doing it. And believe it or not, my son's birthday parties have not suffered. Do you feel me? Do you have something like this? What can you cut out? Finally, cultivate awareness. When you're aware of how situations and conversations are making you feel, you can choose to do something different. In that very moment, you can leave the conversation, shut off the TV, close down social media, or start working on another project. Awareness gives you power. Power to decide how you're going to use your energy or change the energy you're giving to the situation. For example, if you're in a discussion with someone and it becomes heated, you can decide to take a few deep breaths and bring a calmer, more collaborative energy to the conversation. Or maybe you're having a bad day at work. Instead of sinking into a deep hole of self-pity, see if you can reframe it or bring a different energy to your day by focusing on your next career move, your children, or a vacation you have coming up. Don't stop there. Talk about these things out loud. Share them with coworkers and start playful conversations to elevate your energy. Additionally, notice how you feel when you wear certain fabrics, colors, or eat certain foods. Pay attention to how you engage with the world around you and do more of what feels good. What hacks can you share with the group? Comment below. That's all for our energy management episode. What is one piece of information you learned from this well-being check? Share in the comments, and of course, keep jotting things down in that journal of yours. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here for the next well-being check, feeling connected. If you want to get in touch with me to schedule a Reiki or coaching session, or you want more information about our corporate options, reach out via our website, RevelationU, or email me at revelationu.com@gmail.com. You can also check out our course list on Teachable or give me a call. Until next time, be well.